y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Meredith and I make a video every single Monday all about homemaking. So cooking and cleaning and how I take care of my family of 5. On today's video, I am taking you with me to the very first 2024 INDYCAR race. This year it is at St. Pete. It's the St. Pete Grand Prix. So come along with me and my family and enjoy this weekend vlog up in St. Pete. I am originally from Indiana and my family has always gone to the Indy 500. It's one of my favorite family traditions that we do. So it was really special for me to be able to go to this St. Pete race. Here's a few things that I learned. I would park in lot 1 at Tropicana Field. That's where the Tampa Bay Rays baseball team plays. And then take this free shuttle over. It takes you right in front of gate 5. Now I will say the only negative to this is when you are leaving the race, you're probably going to have to Uber back to lot 1 because the lines to get on this shuttle back to the parking lot are extremely long. But the positive thing is when we got to lot 1 in the morning, there was tons of parking spots left. We didn't have to wait in line at all. And for this shuttle, and this is the shuttle that takes you directly over to the race right in front of gate 5. So I was able to park, meet up with my family, and walk into gate 5 all within like a 10 to 15 minute time span. So that was awesome. Now, this was my family and I's very first time going to this St. Pete INDYCAR race, and it was my oldest son's very first time going to any kind of INDYCAR race. So it was so special for me. He just turned 9, so I feel like that's a pretty good age for them to go to one of the races because it's a very long day. All of us just got their general admission tickets, which a lot of people recommended to us because the amount of places that you can go at this race is very, very cool. I actually got my son and I a general admission pass for all 3 days, and it was super, super cheap. I think I got it for like $80 on a Black Friday sale. And I feel like that's all you really need, especially for your first experience at this St. Pete racetrack, because look how close you are able to get. Now, I will say it would have been nice to have like one of the suites or a ticket in the grandstand. That way, at some point during the race, like maybe the beginning or the end, you have like an actual seat to sit in and that you're able to see those Indy cars. But it was still a wonderful experience for us, and you couldn't believe how close you could get to the cars and the drivers. This INDYCAR road track is located like in the Tampa Bay St. Pete area, so it is right on the water. So you are definitely going to have some very beautiful views. And I also really liked that like every different area that we went to had waters, some kind of food vendor, drink vendor. There was tons of stuff everywhere. Isn't that one of your most favorite sounds in the entire world? Especially if you're an INDYCAR fan, I just get chills hearing that. After we walked around for a little bit, we had grabbed some hot dogs and sausages and french fries for breakfast. Delish. And then we headed over to this yacht club area. Look how beautiful this is. We were still able to hear and see the racetrack from this area. And this is like the little yacht club area right here. Here's us walking from the racetrack across Tampa Bay. And this little area right here is called the Waterside Club. So you're able to access this and come over here. And if you have access to it, you can grab a couple drinks in this area. And there's part of the track right there. So you're still able to see and hear the cars right there. You have a couple different like alcoholic beverage options, and a lot of the vendors were carrying Coke products. So we got like Coke or Coke Zero, Diet Coke. We did find a vendor that was serving Sprite because my son was really wanting Sprite. And we did find a vendor that was serving that at the very end. Oh my gosh. This was super cool to see and experience too. This is fans that are walking across the actual racetrack right here. As we were walking around, we were just trying to check out all of like the general admission area and the grandstands. So if y'all have been before, Where have y'all sat at? And if you liked it, like which grandstand were you sitting in? Because we were trying to figure out which area we would be able to actually like see the Indy cars up top. And we had met a couple that had been going to this race since it had started, which I believe this was the 20th year of this running of this race, and they were saying you could sit in grandstand number 10. What do y'all think? What do you recommend? I need to know where to sit. Also, did you see how close I was to Helio Castroneves? That was him right there. My sister and I were just standing in this area waiting for our family, and we realized, oh, we are literally right next to the driver. This is where they were doing like the little driver parade where they were going to do the driver introductions. So we were standing kind of on the left side. Look, there's John Bon Jovi. Super casual, right? No big deal. Okay, so here's the Firestone paddock little entrance right here. And the drivers, after they walked through this area, they walked on this left-hand side, and this is where my sister and I were standing, right next to them. We could not believe it. So if you're trying to snag a photo or autograph from your favorite driver, stand here in this area, and you're able to see all of them walk from the parade straight into where they're introducing all of the drivers. It was such a cool experience, and all we had to do was have a general admission pass, which is just a general admission ticket, and I really love that about INDYCAR and this race, because I also found that you can get paddock passes and pit passes to see the cars up close for only like $150. So that is really great. We also got to see Bret Michaels up close and personal right here. He was doing a concert the night before, and this is him just coming out greeting people right before they were doing the driver introductions. Here is the stage area where they were doing driver introductions, and they showed the winners at the very end of the race. This is directly behind where I was standing for where the drivers were kind of in that parade, and they were walking to this area right here. Again, this is so cool because everything that I'm showing y'all, all you need is a general admission ticket. I highly recommend that if you have never been to this race, or if you just want to go for a few hours with your family. We also found this beautiful area right here, which had a great cool breeze blowing right here in this area. You also had a lot of different shaded options where you could sit down with your family. I mean, check out how beautiful these views are. This is pretty incredible. This is kind of in the middle of the race, so kind of in between gates 1 and 5, which are the two main entrances. This is the area I would recommend going if you have a family or young kids that are in like a stroller or wagon where you just wanted to come to the event for the day. You can come here, hang out in this little grass area. You can hear the Indy cars, and you can see them right here as they're racing. There's lemonade stands, a ton of food vendors available. They also have this little jumbotron or this big screen in this area, so you're able to watch the race as well. I will say this area and this access is such a benefit compared to the Indy 500 that I'm used to going to, because the amount of places that you can walk to at this race is unmatched. So for next year, I'm doing a little bit of research, and I'm trying to see how I can try to get my family maybe suite seats, or figuring out like which grandstand we should sit in so we could actually be able just to have seats for part of the race and to be able to sit down and take a rest and really be able to get high up enough that we can see the Indy cars. Look how incredible this is. This is First Street. There's the INDYCARs right there. That is the actual racetrack. I need to say, I think that's the Hilton right there, the Marriott or something, but those people have the best view. How amazing is that? I don't know if those are condos or hotels, but wherever they are, I need to book a place there because you can step out onto the balcony and see this race. This part of the race right here is more toward that First Street area as we're walking down kind of towards like the Gate 1 area. And this was really packed out, but we were able to get super close and my son loved it. Of course, this was really fun for him being his very first INDYCAR race. Being this close was so fun for him. The final place that we checked out was the INDYCAR merchandise tent right here in this area. And you can see that huge Jumbotron. This is where we watched the very end of the race, where it was so fun to see Joseph Newgarden win because he had just won at the Indy 500 race the year before. So we quickly ran back inside that INDYCAR merchandise tent and grabbed a bunch of his swag. Comment below what section my family and I should sit in next year and let me know which grandstand is the best, because hopefully next year we can snag some tickets for my family and we can all have a place to sit. Now here's the very end of the race. Look at this. It is jam-packed because of course everyone is trying to leave at the same time. So here's why. This is us trying to get to the line to get to the shuttle to head back to lot 1 at Tropicana Field. That was not happening. Thank y'all so much for watching. Again, my name is Meredith. Make sure you subscribe and like this video. See y'all later.